Hi everyone, Nathan here for Z-Man Tech Tips. I am here to tell you about the top 10 Google tools as teachers will use them. So the first one is uh, Google Search. So we're all familiar with Google Search. It almost didn't make the list because it is so ubiquitous in our lives that sometimes people don't even think of it as a tool, but it definitely is. And there are a couple of things that most teachers don't know or use within the Google search. So, your first place to go to Google search is google.com. Right here, homepage on your Chrome page. Down here, it will give you some recently visited sites. If you want to get rid of those, you can click in the top corner. I recommend that you keep your teacher site away from your home site and vice versa so that you don't cross pollinate and show the kids stuff that they shouldn't be seeing from your home site. So, Google.com, real easy searches. You don't have to use the old Boolean operators, although you still can, where you would put pluses and minuses, things like that. Also, if you're using Chrome as your browser, you can put the search in up here at the browser site as well. But let's say that we are looking for sites that have neurons plus brains minus um, politics. All right, so brains and behavior, Quizlet example. Chapter 12 for the nervous system for a Quizlet as well. We have some images down here. We have some behavioral science reviews, all that good stuff. So also up here, you'll see that you have your images, which is going to give you pictures of documents, things like that. If you did something just with neurons plus brains, your images might give you pictures of neurons and brains. Videos, news articles. This will start with more recent news articles and go to older news articles. Shopping. Um, and then under more, you can see videos, news, books, flights, and finance. So that's all great and basic Google search stuff most of you know. Here's some stuff that you may not know. So let's say that you're trying to have your students search for something. Now, do you know that Google stores data on you at all times and is always trying to refine the searches based on things you've searched before? Therefore, the things that you're going to get and the things that your students are going to get are not necessarily the same. To get around that, here's how we do that. If you hit Control Shift and I'm sorry, that's not correct. That gets you the code. Control Shift and N will put you into incognito mode. So in your incognito mode, you're going to do your searches same as usual. But see how it says Chrome won't save the following information: your browsing history, your cookies and site data, information entered into forms, websites you visited, your employer or school, or your internet service provider. This does not mean that your IT cannot see what's going on your screen. They still can, and they definitely can and definitely do. However, this will get you a much better idea of what your students are going to get when they look up their search results. And if you want it to be identical, obviously you have to teach them how to use the incognito mode as well. So that's basic search. Now let's go ahead and look at advanced search. So, Google Advanced Search. All right, so here's where we can get a little bit more into the nitty gritty. All of these words, this exact word or phrase. Let's say you're trying to find a quote that you don't know where you got it from. You can type in a phrase in quotes, and it will only look at that particular set of phrases. Any of these words, none of these words, so this is going to be your negative. Numbers ranging from blank to blank. And then we can narrow the results. We can narrow it by language. We can narrow it by region. This is the region that the website was created in. The last time it was updated. If you know it's a .org, .gov, .edu, you can limit the domains here. Terms appearing anywhere on the page, if they're the title of the page. Safe search. This is not 100%, but it's good for your students to have filter explicit results on. And then file type. If you're looking for, okay, I know that was a PDF or I know that was a Windows document, then you can go ahead and just search by those file formats. And this one down here is another great one to know about. Usage rights. So let's say you're looking for a picture for your website. Let's say I'm a North Shore Mustang, so I want a new Mustang picture for my student website, but I don't want it to be something that I will get sued over using. So you go down to here, view usage rights, free to use, share, modify, even commercially, free to use or share. Pretty much all of these are good. Now, these are not perfect. So Google will tell you, and I'm telling you, that even if you do go and search like this and click here, and here's some images of Mustang cars. I go to images here. Let's say I wanted to use this one here. Now, this one is flagged as free to use. So the owner of this image will not come back and sue me. However, down here, see where it says images may be subject to copyright? You may still want to, especially if you're going to use this commercially or in a book, you may still want to get with the owner of the image and see if it's okay. It's been flagged as free to use, but if there's money to be made, somebody may come back at you with that. All right, so Google search. We got one more thing that we want to look at in Google search. So we're going to start a new tab, and we're going to Google search Google Scholar. So research papers. We have access at our libraries to all sorts of information and different databases, but here's just another good source. So if you're tired of your students going to Wikipedia and just copying the first paragraph, here's where we can send them. Google Scholar. So Google Scholar, you can look by articles, you can look by case law. You can do advanced searches over here. But what you're doing here is you're looking for, let's say we're doing a research paper on football concussions. All right. So we have some peer-reviewed articles here that we can look at on football concussions. Your students, especially at the upper high school level, should be getting familiar with what a peer review is. We can limit it by date, so if we only want things that happened last year, we can do that. We can include the citations. We can export the citations right here in MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, and Vancouver format. So this is really Nice and easy. I know for those of us that have sat at a word processor or typewriter and back and forth with the Purdue OWL books, it's really nice to be able to just look at this and go off of this. So that's it for the quick primer on Google search. We will come back and do some more in-depth stuff with that later. But we're going to go on to number 2, which is YouTube.